Have you ever wondered what mysteries might be hiding in plain sight, even in the most familiar of places? For one man, a self-made millionaire living in a sprawling mansion, this question became reality. Beneath the grandeur of his estate, he discovered something astonishing. A secret room, untouched for generations, holding secrets that would redefine his understanding of success, family, and legacy. Ethan Graham had it all: luxury, influence, and a reputation as one of the sharpest minds in the business world. To the outside world, his life was perfect, a seamless blend of opulence and achievement. But for Ethan, there was always a sense of restlessness, a yearning for something beyond the material wealth he had accumulated. Little did he know, the answers he sought were hidden right under his nose, waiting to be uncovered. This story isn't just about a secret room. It's about what that room represented: a journey of discovery, transformation, and reflection. We've all had moments of curiosity, wondering if there's more to life than what meets the eye. Ethan's journey invites us to explore those hidden corners of our own lives, where the most valuable treasures often lie. As we unravel his incredible story, you'll see that the greatest discoveries aren't just about wealth or possessions. They're about purpose, connection, and the truths that shape who we are. Ethan Graham's story begins with a life most people could only dream of. At just 40, he had built a tech empire from the ground up, earning him the title of one of the most influential entrepreneurs of his generation. His success was reflected in every aspect of his life: a mansion perched on a sprawling estate, luxury cars lining the driveway, and invitations to the most exclusive events. But despite his achievements, there was a sense of emptiness he couldn't shake. The mansion itself was a masterpiece, blending historical architecture with state-of-the-art technology. Built over a century ago, it had been carefully restored to preserve its original charm while accommodating Ethan's modern lifestyle. The home boasted 50 rooms, including libraries, grand ballrooms, and private theaters. Yet even after years of living there, Ethan had never truly explored its every corner. The discovery began on an ordinary morning. Ethan had decided to renovate one of the older wings of the house. As construction workers examined the blueprints, they noticed something unusual: a discrepancy in the layout. One wall seemed thicker than it should have been, and behind it, there was no indication of what lay beyond. Intrigued, Ethan insisted they investigate further. When the workers began removing the wall, they revealed an ancient, concealed doorway. Its surface was adorned with intricate carvings, faded with time. The door was locked with a rusted mechanism that hadn't been touched in decades, perhaps even longer. The very sight of it sent a thrill of curiosity through Ethan. What could be hiding behind it? Over the next few days, Ethan became consumed by the mystery. He put his business obligations on hold to focus entirely on uncovering the secret. With the help of locksmiths and restoration experts, the door was finally opened. What he found on the other side took his breath away. The room was small and dimly lit, with a single window covered by heavy, dust-laden drapes. Shelves lined the walls, filled with journals, photographs, and objects from a bygone era. A thick layer of dust coated everything, as though time itself had forgotten the space. At the center of the room stood a single table, holding a leather-bound book that seemed to beckon him. But this wasn't just a forgotten corner of the mansion. It was a portal to his family's past. Ethan Graham had always been a man of action, but what lay before him now required more than just decisive steps. It required patience, reflection, and a willingness to face the unknown. As he gently opened the leather-bound book on the table, he realized it was a journal. The handwriting was elegant but faded, the words penned in a style reminiscent of another era. The journal belonged to none other than his great-grandfather, William Graham, a man Ethan had only heard about in family stories. William was described as a shrewd businessman and a passionate inventor who had built much of the original estate. Yet, the journal painted a more complex picture: a man torn between his ambition and his desire to leave a meaningful legacy. Ethan spent hours poring over the journal. The entries detailed William's struggles, from balancing family life to managing the weight of expectations. There were sketches of inventions, plans for secret projects, and cryptic mentions of a treasure. Not one of gold or jewels, but something far more valuable: Motivated by these writings, Ethan began exploring the room further. He uncovered a series of artifacts, a rusted compass, photographs of unfamiliar faces, and a collection of letters written in a language he couldn't identify. Among these was a map, hand-drawn and marked with symbols that didn't match any part of the mansion Ethan knew. As Ethan tried to piece together the clues, the first obstacle became clear: deciphering the cryptic symbols and writings. He brought in historians and linguists to assist, but even they struggled to make sense of some of the documents. Every step forward seemed to raise new questions. Why had his great-grandfather hidden these items? And what was this treasure he referenced so often? In addition to these mysteries, Ethan faced an internal struggle. As days turned into weeks, he began questioning his own life choices. The journal described William's regret at spending too much time chasing wealth at the expense of his relationships, a regret Ethan couldn't ignore. Was he, too, following the same path? Despite the challenges, Ethan persisted. For the first time in years, he found himself excited not by profit margins or acquisitions, but by the thrill of discovery. He began to see the parallels between his great-grandfather's life and his own. Both men had been consumed by ambition, yet both had reached a point where they craved something deeper. As Ethan unearthed more from the room, he felt himself changing. He started taking breaks from work, spending more time with his family, and reflecting on the legacy he wanted to leave behind. The room had become more than a mystery. It was a mirror, forcing him to confront truths about himself that he had long avoided. One night, while studying the map under the dim glow of a desk lamp, Ethan noticed something he had missed before: a hidden marking that aligned perfectly with the blueprints of his mansion. It suggested there was more to the estate than he had realized. Was the secret room just the beginning? The breakthrough came one quiet evening. Ethan was sitting in the secret room, surrounded by artifacts and notes, when he decided to revisit the journal. He flipped to a page he had skimmed earlier and noticed a passage underlined in bold strokes. The true treasure lies beneath the weight of the past, waiting to be uncovered by those willing to look beyond the surface. These words struck Ethan deeply. He had been approaching the room like a puzzle to solve, but this passage suggested that the journey itself might hold the answers. With renewed focus, Ethan began retracing every clue he had gathered. The map that had perplexed him earlier started making sense. Its markings seemed to correspond to an area in the mansion's west wing, an older, largely unused section. Ethan hadn't paid much attention to that part of the house, but something told him this was where he needed to go. Accompanied by his trusted assistant and a team of preservation experts, Ethan explored the west wing. Hidden behind an ornate but deteriorating bookshelf, they found another concealed door. This one was even more intricate than the first, with carvings resembling the symbols from the journal. The door was locked, and the key was nowhere to be found. Frustrated but determined, Ethan revisited the journal for guidance. One entry described a hidden compartment in William Graham's study, where he had supposedly kept his most prized possessions. Following the instructions, Ethan located the compartment, a small drawer embedded in an antique desk. Inside was an old brass key. The key fit perfectly into the lock, and with a creak, the door swung open. What lay inside was breathtaking. A small underground chamber lined with bookshelves, filled with documents, blueprints, and inventions William had worked on in secret. At the center of the room was a glass case holding a delicate, handcrafted device. As Ethan stared at the artifacts, an overwhelming sense of connection washed over him. His great-grandfather had poured his heart and soul into this space, creating a sanctuary for his ideas and dreams. But the journal entries revealed something more profound. William had created this room not just for himself, but for future generations. Ethan couldn't help but reflect on his own life. He had spent years building his empire, but to what end? The journals made it clear that William had wrestled with the same questions and had ultimately chosen to prioritize his legacy of innovation and contribution over mere financial success. The discovery of the underground chamber changed Ethan's perspective entirely. This wasn't just about uncovering a mystery, it was about continuing a legacy. Inspired by William's vision, Ethan resolved to use his resources and influence to honor his great-grandfather's work. The treasure William had referred to wasn't monetary. It was the realization that true success lies in creating something meaningful and enduring. For Ethan, this meant shifting his focus from personal ambition to broader impact, helping others innovate, dream, and grow. Ethan Graham's journey was far from over. The discovery of the underground chamber and the treasures it held presented new challenges, both practical and emotional. The artifacts needed to be preserved, studied, and shared with the world, but more than that, Ethan faced a personal challenge: how to ensure that William's vision would live on while redefining his own legacy. Ethan began by assembling a team of historians, engineers, and archivists to carefully catalog and restore the items in the chamber. The glass-encased device at the room's center, which appeared to be an early prototype of an energy-efficient machine, became the focal point of their efforts. Ethan invested heavily in understanding and modernizing the invention, convinced it could revolutionize contemporary technology. But the real work lay in reshaping his life. Inspired by William's journals, Ethan decided to step back from the relentless demands of his business empire. He restructured his company, empowering his team to take on leadership roles while he focused on projects that aligned with his newfound purpose. Ethan also opened his mansion to the public, transforming the West Wing into a museum dedicated to innovation and family heritage. Visitors could explore the secret room, view William's journals, and learn about the journey that had brought Ethan to this point. As Ethan navigated this new path, he faced resistance from multiple fronts. Board members at his company questioned his priorities, fearing the shift in focus might impact profits. Friends and colleagues were puzzled by his decision to share such personal discoveries with the world, arguing that they were private matters best kept within the family. Even Ethan himself faced moments of doubt. The pressure to return to his old ways was strong, especially when faced with criticism or financial challenges. There were days when he wondered if he had made the right choice, if all his efforts would ultimately matter. But each time doubt crept in, Ethan returned to the journals. William's words reminded him of the importance of perseverance and vision. Slowly but surely, Ethan's conviction grew stronger. As months passed, Ethan began to see the fruits of his labor. His company thrived under its new leadership, driven by a culture of collaboration and innovation. The museum became a beacon for aspiring inventors and thinkers, inspiring countless visitors with its message of creativity and legacy. Ethan's personal life also flourished. He reconnected with his family, spending more time with his loved ones and sharing with them the lessons he had learned from William's story. The bonds he built during this time were unlike anything he had experienced before, a testament to his decision to prioritize what truly mattered. By embracing his great-grandfather's vision and incorporating it into his own life, Ethan found a sense of fulfillment he had never known. The challenges he had faced no longer seemed like obstacles, but steps on a journey towards something far greater than himself. Months turned into years, and Ethan Graham's life transformed in ways he had never imagined. The mansion, once a symbol of his material success, had become a testament to his family's legacy and his personal growth. The secret room, now fully restored, served as a bridge between the past and the future, a reminder of the lessons he had learned and the journey he had undertaken. Ethan's decision to share the discoveries with the world bore remarkable results. The energy-efficient device his great-grandfather had designed became the foundation for a groundbreaking renewable energy project. This invention, once abandoned in the shadows of time, gained recognition for its innovative design and potential to combat modern energy crises. The museum within his mansion became a hub for creativity, attracting thinkers, inventors, and dreamers from all walks of life. School groups toured the space, marveling at the ingenuity of William Graham's designs and hearing the inspiring story of how his great-grandson rediscovered them. On a personal level, Ethan found peace and fulfillment. He had built a stronger relationship with his family, valuing time with his loved ones more than ever. He also found joy in mentoring young entrepreneurs, sharing not just his business acumen, but also the lessons he had learned about balance, purpose, and legacy. Ethan's journey taught him that success isn't defined by wealth or accolades, but by the impact one leaves behind. The true treasure he had uncovered wasn't the artifacts in the secret room, but the deeper understanding of his family's values and his own purpose. William Graham's journal had spoken of a treasure far more valuable than gold. Ethan now realized that treasure was the ability to inspire and uplift others, to create something that outlasts one's own life. For Ethan, the mansion was no longer just a home. It was a living testament to these ideals, a place where past and present converged to shape the future. So, what about you? Have you ever stopped to consider what legacy you're building? Ethan's story challenges us to look beyond the surface of our lives and ask deeper questions. Are we chasing fleeting rewards, or are we creating something meaningful that will endure? Perhaps the treasures we seek aren't hidden behind walls or locked doors, but within ourselves. Like Ethan, we all have the power to uncover them. It just takes courage, curiosity, and a willingness to look beyond the ordinary. As Ethan stood in the secret room one last time, he ran his fingers over the journal that had set him on this journey. "Thank you," he whispered, not just to William, but to the part of himself that had dared to seek more. Remember, life's greatest treasures often lie in the places we least expect. They're found not in the accumulation of wealth, but in the pursuit of purpose, connection, and the legacy we leave behind. What treasures might be waiting for you to uncover?